It's hard to believe we're here already. Time just seems to be going by so quickly that it's almost a bit scary, but here we are, 2023. I will not lie to you all, 2022 was a very rough year for myself, as it feels nearly every upside was counteracted by at least 3 different downsides. For the good, the quality of my work took a drastic step up from what it was in 2021, with posing and design noticeably improving and basically putting my work in a league of its own. It also happens to be the year that saw the release of what I feel is my best moveset so far in the form of Crystal, as while I don't feel any of my previous work constitutes as bad, Crystal's moveset came out so well that it feels like the closest thing to a perfect moveset I've made since I started taking this channel seriously. As for the bad, my mental health took several major hits over the year, with several health scares and the development of a serious anxiety problem that still hasn't been truly alleviated. This led to so many projects getting scrapped or pushed back until a time I felt I'd be better suited to finish it. And thankfully, 2023 might just be the year I make that happen. I won't lie to you all, I almost quit YouTube altogether after how horrible December was for me. And while I'm not entirely over it, I'm here, and I don't have any plans to go anywhere anytime soon. Now, I know you're not here to hear about my emotional baggage or health issues. You're here to learn about what you can expect from me not only for this year, but where this channel will be going in the foreseeable future. And while I appreciate your interest, I've learned a few things from last year's video analytics and have decided to put the Smash announcements at the end of the video, as there's other topics I'd like to talk to you about before you click off. Yes, you can skip to the section if you wish, but I would appreciate if you listen to what I have to say. This video will be broken into 5 different sections, with each one discussing various types of content you can expect from me this year, as well as where some series are going to go. Let's finally get started, shall we? Back in March of 2022, I launched a series known as Unite Designs with the plan to make gameplay kits for Pokemon I'd like to see be added to Pokemon Unite. So far, I've released videos for Weavile, Lopunny, and Galarian Slowking, with Mewtwo still being in development and being planned to release soon. But while that's what I would consider good news, it pains me to say that United Designs will be coming to an end in 2023. Now, I wouldn't say that this series took too much time away from my Smash content or led to any sort of disruption, as I feel more personal issues are far more likely responsible for that. But my interest in Pokemon Unite has been slowly dying over the past year, namely thanks to the fact that other games have become my casual go-to game experiences. Still, while that's the case, I do have some videos actively planned to release this year, namely Mienshao, Floatzel, Obstagoon, and Darkrai. And while some of the Pokemon from Gen 9 do intrigue me, I'm not sure if I'll end up covering them before the end of the series. I want this series to go out with a bang, and once it's complete, I plan to have other things take its place in order to keep things fresh and keep a more healthy workflow. Still, this is only a short-term plan, and should enough people want me to keep it around, there's a chance that the series will stay around into the next year and beyond. But for now, this is very much a wait-and-see scenario. As for what said replacement will be, well, you'll just have to wait on that one. In the meantime, know that there will be videos coming for this series throughout the year, and Mewtwo will be releasing on February 6th, which will coincide with its birthday. That's all I have to say about United Designs for now. And remember, you can still put in requests for Pokemon you'd like to see me cover in the comment sections of my United Designs video. Alright, moving on. 2022 was an awful mess when it came to keeping the motivation to work, which you'd think wouldn't be a problem considering I covered Virgil. Coupled that with anxiety attacks breaking up my work time, and it led to a lot of videos falling through the cracks. But just because they fell through the cracks doesn't mean they were forgotten. This year, I plan to add some unique types of Smash content into my usual moveset design series, all while maintaining a heavy emphasis on game design. These projects were initially planned to release last year, but after being left in limbo for many months, I feel now's the time to finish them and send them out to the masses. I plan to start rolling out these projects in a couple months' time, as the majority of the content coming between now and March will be mainly moveset oriented. First up, I'll be releasing Ready for Battle, a guide on designing Smash Bros. Characters, a project that will be split into 2 videos. The first video will be dedicated to talking about how I designed Smash Bros. Characters, with it mainly covering my design philosophies and design process. All of this being done as a means of helping younger moveset makers improve and as a reference point for those that will take up designing movesets in the coming years whenever we finally get a new Smash title. As for the second video, this will have me design a moveset from the ground up using the design process provided in the first video. Which character will it be? Well, you'll just have to wait and find out when the video releases. Part 1 will be releasing on March 18th, while Part 2 will be releasing on March 31st. Hope to see you there. After that comes Echo Creation, Reimagining the Echo Fighter, a video dedicated to taking the concept of an Echo Fighter and pushing it to its extreme, all while designing 5 unique Echo Fighters with this new design philosophy in mind. You can expect to see this video releasing on the week of April 17th, and should this video do well, there will be more Echo Fighter oriented videos in the future. There are several other non-Smash related videos that I do plan to release throughout the year, but since these draw in far less attention than my usual content does, I figured I could keep these as little surprises that I can sprinkle into my schedule during gaps in my video releases. It should also be mentioned that I did have several other Smash Bros. Themed videos planned. However, given all that I have planned for 2023, I didn't feel they would properly fit into my video schedule. Don't worry though, as while that's the case, none of it is being forgotten. You'll see it eventually, but now just isn't the time. Alright, let's move on to the next section. While my channel is mainly dedicated to content based around Smash Brothers, there's another franchise that I not only greatly enjoy, but have been dying to make content about for a very long time. Rivals of Aether. Rivals of Aether is a game that has basically hit every single note I wanted a platform fighter to hit. And with Rivals 2 set to release sometime next year, I have many plans for Rival-style content that I want to release on this channel. And this is the year I'm finally going to make it happen. Starting off strong, Let's Design is finally going to make its debut, with 2 videos being planned to release throughout the year. For those of you who didn't see last year's update video, Let's Design is a brand new series that will be dedicated to creating brand new original characters for a variety of different fighting games, with Rivals of Aether being the first franchise I plan to cover. Episode 1 featuring Mayreen is slated to release in late May, with the video featuring a backstory and custom moveset that will be drawn entirely by yours truly. This will be the standard for Let's Design, and since art takes time, these will be rare treats that will be released only a few times each year. As for Episode 2, this will be covering a character I've yet to unveil, but you'll learn more about her in the months leading up to her release. For now, all you need to know is that she's the brash leader of an underground syndicate dedicated to liberating Aether from the tyranny of the Loxodon Empire. But to the citizens of the capital, she's the founder and captain of the city's main citizen protection unit. Let's Design Episode 2, featuring Claire, will be releasing in late November, and I'll have more information to share on it once Mayreen's episode makes its debut. While these are both major projects that will take a notable amount of time to finish, these are actually not the major project I have planned this year. No, the major project of 2023 is actually something I've been keeping hush-hush for a while now, and I feel now is the right time to talk about it. Introducing Rewriting the Future, a recreation and retelling of the backstory of Claren from Rivals of Aether. Now, Claren received a 4-part comic series detailing her backstory in the form of Tales of Aether, a series that I have surprisingly heard nothing about since the final issue released, and, well, I hated it. It felt heavily rushed in some of the most crucial areas, many characters are underutilized or poorly written, the designs for some characters are heavily lacking. It was a mess that felt like it did nothing for either Claren nor the Rivals series. As a matter of fact, I felt it was so bad that I pushed myself to write my own version of my favorite rival characters' backstory, and I've been sitting on a 50+ page document about it since November of 2021. I originally didn't plan to do anything with it, as I have plenty of would-be scripts and design documents collecting dust in various folders around my computer. But after putting time into Let's Design and the hype brought about by the announcement of Rivals 2, I decided that now would be the perfect time to bring this design to life in my own personal way. This is going to be a labor of love that will be illustrated entirely by myself. And while I am thinking about potentially bringing people together in order to help me make this video the best it can be, I'm not entirely sure I'll be able to do so. Regardless, Rewriting the Future, A Flame Reborn will be releasing on December 31st, 2023. It's a long way out, but I promise it'll be more than worth the wait. Alright, moving on to the next subject. Back in September of 2021, I launched my own personal Patreon that I dedicated to sharing assets from videos, teasing future content, and more importantly, creating unique movesets for those that pledge a certain tier. Well, while said design for my Patreon was a good idea on paper, it has been one of the biggest detriments to keeping my video schedule intact. And as a result, I'm deciding to change some things around for the better. First thing is first. As of today, no more movesets will be produced for my Patreon. While this may disappoint or worry some, worry not, as all movesets that have yet to be finished will still be released incrementally throughout the year, including those that paid for a January moveset. Going forward, I want my Patreon to instead focus on unique types of content that you won't find anywhere else. Content that won't cut into my schedule and take time away from the channel. For example, instead of movesets, higher tiers will instead receive insider information and early design documents for upcoming videos, giving you not only a look at what's coming next, but also a look at how the character is being put together. In turn, lower tiers will still get access to all the assets I use in my videos. A majority of the Patreon's content will remain open to any pledge tier, and all movesets will be available for public viewing. Now, while movesets are indeed going away in their current form, I'd be lying if I said they were going to disappear altogether. As a matter of fact, they're not only staying around, but are being reformatted to allow for more people to get involved at a fraction of the price. Introducing Choose Your Fighter. Choose Your Fighter is a brand new video series that will be dedicated to creating movesets for characters chosen by the community for the community. Starting at the beginning of every other month, a poll will be conducted to decide which character is going to get the luxury of having a video made about them, with each poll being comprised of 6 characters apiece. Any member of my Patreon is capable of voting in this poll, regardless of what tier they pledge. And on top of voting, all members of my Patreon can also put in requests for characters they'd like to see added to their roster. And should characters get requested enough, they'll be added to future polls and have a chance to be made into videos themselves. These requests will be put into specific request collecting posts on the Patreon in order to make sure I don't have to go scouring for them. And when the posts do go up, be sure to ask for multiple characters at once. I plan to put up the poll for the first episode of Choose Your Fighter in a few days, where you can choose between Chell from Portal, the Courier from Fallout New Vegas, the Commando from Risk of Rain, Goro Majima from Yakuza, Melania from Elden Ring, and the Big Daddy from BioShock. Whoever ends up winning this poll will be receiving a video in April, with more episodes coming in July, September, and December. Alright, just one more section to go, and as you already know, I saved the most important part for last. It's now time to talk about what I'm sure a majority of you came here to see. Movesets. Who's coming out this year? How many characters are we gonna get? Well, before I show you, I feel it'd only be right if I started with a little speech. As I've mentioned many times already, 2022 was an awful year for me for a variety of reasons, and I want to do everything in my power to make sure 2023 goes better for me. As a result, I've come to the conclusion that this is going to be the last year I'll be doing movesets at the rate that I am. And after 2023 comes to a close, Smash movesets will be very few and far between as more focus gets put towards Rivals of Aether and more personal projects. That's not to say it's going to disappear, as should characters catch my eye or certain games come out that I enjoy, you can expect to see movesets for said games and their characters. But as it stands, I feel that I'm not only starting to perfect the craft, but there isn't that much left that I actually want to cover. However, if this is going to be the last year I make movesets the main aspect of my channel, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure it's my best year yet, both in terms of quality and quantity. I plan to add even more quality to my content going forward, and it'll be something you'll quickly notice after the first few videos of the year come out. As a matter of fact, with said boosts in quality and a slew of new assets planned, I am going to cement myself as the best Smash moveset designer on this platform. Views be damned, algorithm be damned, sub numbers be damned. By the end of this year, I will cement myself as the best moveset designer on this platform. It'd be nice to at least hit 4K subs by the end of the year, maybe a bit of extra luck with the algorithm, I don't know. But none of this has ever had a bearing on the quality of my work. And as far as I'm concerned, it never will. You're the one who took the time out of your day to come watch something that I made. And while I don't like to talk about this kind of stuff because I'm incredibly awkward when it comes to giving thanks, it does mean a lot to me, and I hope I can continue to be something worth watching in the future. I'll leave you now with a teaser for the moveset content coming this year, and let me just say that I hope you have a good day, a good morning, a good evening, a good night, and thank you for watching.
世界